You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle. Welcome to the live stream of Chiro Hustle. It's Monday. How you doing, Kalie?
I'm fabulous. Happy to be here. I'm super excited.
And you're coming in from Chicago area?
Yep, St. Charles, Illinois.
St. Charles, Illinois. And that's a Fox River that runs through there, right?
That's right. Right down 2 blocks away from here.
Yep, and I'm coming from Grand Junction, the Grand Valley, the western slope of Colorado. Like I like to say, no one lives over here, so I love it. And about 6 blocks away from me is the Colorado River.
Nice.
So just geographic locations. You're there, I'm here. But today we're going to talk about chiropractic. We're going to talk about your episode and your episode. Let me see, make sure I'm right here. I think it's 34. Yes, your episode 34 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. And thank you for being on that with us. And we're just going to kind of catch up a little bit today and share people about Kalie Judge and what you're doing, where you come from, and where you're going. Cool?
Super excited, yes.
Awesome. So we have 6 viewers on right now. If you guys wouldn't mind just telling us where you guys are coming in from, that will get the comments rolling, and then we'll start in with this interview. And just to let you know, Kalie, you have a little bit of headspace there. Boom. There you go. I know it's probably a little challenging for you.
Major technical difficulties. So now I'm on my phone holding it up on my computer. So we're going to do our best here and see what
well,
going on.
You look great. And Jimmy Lopez says happy Monday.
Hey, Jimmy.
And, we got to love to Jimmy Lopez. So let's talk about you and your legacy. You come from a family of chiropractors.
Yes, I have. Do you want me to go into it?
Yeah, please. Let's share with them.
Yeah, so we've got 4 generations of chiropractors in my family. There's now 35 of us. My brother and I practice together. He was the 28th chiropractor in our family. I was the 32nd chiropractor in the family. And so people always ask, like, what got you into chiropractic? And it's not that, and neither one of our parents are chiropractors, and so it's kind of funny that they aren't, but we do have 35 of them in our family. And so what got us into chiropractic is the passion that the generations before have shared about chiropractic and what they've seen in their clinics and in their offices. And it's just been, it's just awesome to see the passion run through the generations.
Yeah, that's it's so impressive. And I know we had a chance to meet last year down at the Philos group in St. Louis. We were both speaking to that inspired group of Logan students. And I just can't say enough about how awesome that was to be able to meet you and see where you are today.
Yeah, it's almost been a year. I think that was in May, the beginning of May. So it's almost been an entire year. And that event was such a catapult event for me and my practice and my just personal life and everything. And so I'm glad that you got to be there to witness it. I know that we get to be together at a couple other events too. So that's pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, I feel like our paths converged at the right time. And I've been actually in chiropractic now 7 years as well.
Yeah. So you started off as a patient, right?
I did. Well, yeah. I mean, that's 22 years ago, but as working in if you will, the trenches for the chiropractic profession, working in an office to the point where I am today has been 7 years.
Yeah. And I don't think that there's enough people that know who you are. You know what I mean? Like just thinking back, like when we met last year in May, it was like, oh, where do you practice? This is me. Like, where do you practice? And you're like, I don't. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you're just here? And you're like, no, I'm Jim Chester. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm Kalie Judge. Like, great to meet you. What's going on? And you're like, it was just funny. So, you've made done some pivotal things for chiropractic. You made a movie about chiropractic. You do podcasts almost daily. And you've got all kinds of Instagram stuff, Facebook. I don't know. I just want to take a second to make sure that you get honored also,
Oh,
and that
thanks.
it's not taken lightly. And it's important to have chiropractic advocates out there that are out there ready to just spread the love and share the principle.
Well, first things first is you have to become trusted into the chiropractic circle. And that's a major accomplishment. And I think that anytime you come into an industry that, has been kind of challenged over the years, finding a home within the chiropractic family, I just feel very welcome and I feel very at home now within the chiropractic family. So thank
Yeah.
you for recognizing. And the film was kind of like a barrier of entry into the chiropractic profession. But yeah, you're right. We are leveraging media
Yeah.
almost daily, and
Yeah.
we're sharing the chiropractic message to many channels. As a matter of fact, our podcast goes out to 13 different platforms. So
Wow.
we're hitting multiple channels, and these aren't just people that are chiropractors that are listening. We're getting audiences outside of chiropractic, and that was like the main intent.
Yeah, that's huge. And you get to witness those numbers just keep climbing of who's listening, and you like, we can always anchor back on what BJ Palmer said. You never know how far reaching something you say, think, or do will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. So, even in those moments of discouragement, and you said it earlier, like it's persistence that keeps us going. We tried probably 17 times to get connected on this video right here, and we're connected. It may not be the most amazing setup that I'm going on right now, but we're here and it's good.
So 7 years ago, you went to Palmer and you had the opportunity to jump into third quarter with the Maximized Living Group. Let's talk a little bit about that and how that's had an impact on your future.
Yeah, so I've been now part of Max Living for 10 years roughly. I joined when I was in third trimester and was a part of it before, but never didn't take the leap. And the reason what was hesitating for me, it was like, well, I have 4 generations of chiropractors. I'm going to be the 32nd in my family. What do I need to be a part of this group for? And the biggest thing that I took away, my brother actually bought me a plane ticket to go to the seminar in January for Christmas that year. And I went to that seminar and it completely transformed my life, because not only were they just on fire and passionate for chiropractic, but it was a group of people that were just out there to save and change lives, and not do it by themselves. So the one big thing with me not doing it the first 2 trimesters, it's because I was being selfish, right? I thought I could do it on my own. I can go out there and do this, and yeah, you can be successful on your own. You can do great things on your own. However, there's a much bigger impact when you do it with a group of people that are doing the same thing. It's just a movement, and it's the turn and the transition that Max Living has gone through this past year, 2 years. It's just incredible to watch the growth that they're going through. I just got back from the most incredible seminar that we've had. We had people like Dr. Drew Rubin there teaching on pediatrics. We had people like Dr. Bobby Dosha there teaching on the history of chiropractic, and just remembering where we came from. And then also just showing the miracles and what we can have. But then we also had people within our groups that were just pouring into us and speaking life, and allowing us to remember that what we do every single day is wake up to make an impact on a person's life. And I don't think that there's a way that you can make a bigger impact than being with a group of people. First of all, for me, going to that seminar is like just going back home and seeing family and being a part of that. So yeah, you said that earlier, like Max Living, those are my peeps. They are. They are my peeps, and I love every single one of them. And just like any other family, that there's ups and downs in that circle of people, but you've got to stick through it. You just don't leave family, and you kind of grow through things together, and you come out on the other side even stronger. So it's just really exciting to see the impact that Max Living is gonna do, and yeah, it's just exciting to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's empowering to know that there are groups that are represented on chiropractic college campuses that actually teach real chiropractic. and that keep the students involved, whether it's Amped or whether it's Max Living or whatever groups are out there that are helping support the message of chiropractic. It might be Schubel Vision, but I
Yeah.
think that there's a lot of people out there that are supporting chiropractic because, what I've found from talking to hundreds upon hundreds of chiropractors is sometimes the philosophy and the business acumen aren't really a part of the programs that the college students go through. So I think it's important to have these supplemental groups that come in and, actually, shepherd the students into a better future.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, and if I can say one thing to like, if you're a student, to just like don't be scared away from success. It's like some people need to have permission to go out and just succeed and be a successful person. And so just, a lot of people try to hold you back and bring you back down. And so just don't be scared of what's ahead. And especially like speaking to females specifically, we had on Saturday, we had a luncheon with 50 of our women leading chiropractic, and it was incredible to see that room of people come together who are all chiropractors and who are all successful in their businesses, and who some are married and have babies, and they still are successful. And because sometimes we have this lie put into us that once you have a baby you're done, and that's just not the case. And so it's really fun, especially with Max Living, to be a part of a group that honors and recognizes the successful woman. So
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know you do a spin-off besides practice, and it's called Challenge Ninjas.
yeah.
Talk to people about what that means and how you're helping people through a different avenue besides chiropractic.
Yeah, so Challenge Ninjas is essentially right now it's all about the fitness aspect of your health. I know that there's it's me and my two best friends. So they are doctor chiropractors in Nashville, Tennessee, doctors Cassie and Michael Major, and we actually started this like 4 years ago, just kind of like, oh, we're going on vacation, we should do 100 burpees a day until we go. And so we started putting it on social media, and people started like, hey, I want to join this challenge, I want to do this. And so we've just created into this global movement where now we're seeing people log into our website and our social media from places that I've never even heard of in the world. And so it's just really cool to see people take a chance at working out, take a chance at fitness, and knowing that they can succeed, and that there's a community around the world that's literally with them. So we have Instagram posts that Dr. Cassie like is amazing at, and they're actually some pretty funny ones. Um, and we're just leading people, and there's usually 2 challenges a month, and it's stuff that you can do at home. It's completely free. There's no equipment needed. It takes 15 5 to 20 minutes ish, somewhere in that window, depending how long it takes sometimes. But we have people that are 75 years old and 5 years old doing it with us, and um, people getting incredible results. We just did a video with Pastor Ezekiel last weekend, and that's on our Facebook thing. And he's creating a movement within his church to have people do this challenge ninja workout, and I don't know. It's just amazing to see people once you start like just removing the barriers from someone seeing it as a successful thing, what they can accomplish.
I kind of feel the same way about doing media for chiropractic. Is now we have like this amazing tribe of people that are consistently watching, consistently sharing, and consistently participating, and it's just amazing like how eventually we get such a course of people that are doing the right thing and sharing the right message,
Yeah,
and that bridges into great information like what you just shared. The
yeah,
Challenge Ninja is something that is transforming people's lives because now they find a community that they fit into,
yeah.
and I think that that's empowering.
Yeah, it's huge. It's so huge to see. And then like we're getting videos of them, like it's not even about working out. It's about the obstacles that they've blown through, and the mindset shift, like, oh, I can accomplish anything that I put my mind to. So I think like once you win in one area of your life, then you start to notice that you can win in other areas of your life too.
So I'm going to take a quick break here to recognize some people that are in on our live feed with us.
Yeah.
Danny Hawkins, I interviewed his brother the other day, Andy Hawkins, who's up at Northwestern Chiropractic College in Minnesota. And he goes, "Love it, Doc, inspiring people to take chances to see their greatness." I have Kat Sarah says, "Appreciate your leadership, Kalie Judge."
What's up,
Kat,
Kat?
she is such a supporter of the Chiro
Yeah.
Hustle movement. She's always a part of what we're doing, so I really appreciate her.
She's known me since I first just got into practice. So like 7 years ago, it has kind of seen me grow up a little bit. So that's kind of cool.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle. Yes, she's super supportive of what we do. Tim McFadden, he's with the Chirodex app. He's a sponsor of our podcast, and he goes, "It's such a true and important point about fear and giving yourself permission to succeed." And I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that comment, because so many times when people get into a higher education program, they're bombarded with their own emotions. They're bombarded with not knowing where to go or what to do. And many times that they don't realize how powerful they actually are and the momentum that they've actually gained in this world. And they just don't give themselves permission to see outside of the classroom and the textbook.
Oh, for sure. That's all you see. You're stuck in these walls and you don't know how to get out of it.
And then you can't wait to the point where you can start putting your hands on people and taking care of people. And then you jump out of school. Next thing you know, you're like, oh boy,
how do I run a business?
it's time to practice. Yeah. Who do I find to mentor me? Who can tell me what I need?
That's why it's so important to find your group, especially students. Like, find your group as a student. And that's why I've never left Max Living, is because they're my peeps. Like, they've helped me through it. Like, I can't even imagine like going somewhere else and having to like dig up the history and like, like work through all this stuff. It's like, it is what it is,
Here's another Bruce Brown. He is a sponsor of us too. He runs Element Mattresses. If you guys are interested in starting, getting on board to provide different services to your chiropractic practice members, Bruce has a great program that can help you with his Element Mattresses, which gets people a better night's sleep. And I think that that's vitally important. When I worked in an office, I can't tell you the amount of people that ask me what type of pillow to buy or what type of mattress to buy. Yeah. So if we have a very congruent business that supports us, I always want to support them too. So thanks for being on with us, Bruce. He says, "Love the encouragement of self-reflection and questioning your limitations. Great advice for anyone."
For sure.
So that's it's always nice to get kudos from our sponsors on here. Yeah. It's really nice that people are supporting what we're doing far and wide. I'm just going to go back down. We had hopefully I don't pronounce her name wrong. Chantel Picorni. Do you know?
Yeah. So she graduated from Palmer, and I'm actually taking care of her best friend in my office.
So she says that she's joined us from Rapid City, South Dakota. Yeah. And we've already recognized Jimmy Lopez for being on the live feed with us today. So, it's really cool that we can be interactive with our audience. We can share your message. I can, spice in a little bit about how I feel about what's going on. But let's turn back to you now, and let's talk about where you are at right now with your practice and some goals that you have for yourself this year.
Yeah, so practice, is I love walking in the door every single day. We adjusted some people this morning. We're gonna get to go back this afternoon and see people, and then we have a dinner tonight. So that'll reach more people in the community. Goal for daily practice is showing up and being present every single day. And I think if you can show up and be present every single day, that's when you're going to see the lives change. And don't let the outside influence your inside. And so what I mean by that is, if you looked outside today, like it is a foggy, rainy, gloomy, crappy day. It's cold. It's like damp cold. But if I walked around and like only focused on that, I wouldn't have seen the kids that came in this morning because they had no school today and got to adjust their atlas and take pressure off their brainstem, their spinal cord, and their nerve roots, and see that the grandparents walking in and the families, and meet a new patient this morning, and all of those little things that are ginormous for the chiropractic story. And we have to continue to just recognize those things and anchor into how amazing it all is. A couple goals I have this year, I was telling you earlier, is to really work on getting out into the community more, which means getting more community talks set up at different businesses, corporations, churches, schools, teachers, whatever it is, whatever it has to take. My goal is 10 to 15 talks a month, which would mean I would get in front of hopefully hundreds, if not now big thinking thousands of people, and really start to transform the town, and see people just learn the chiropractic principle with no agenda other than the fact that people need to hear the story. People need to hear what chiropractic is. People need to know that they need chiropractic. People need to really understand that it's not neck pain, back pain, whatever kind of pain, headaches, all that stuff. It is full function and maximal potential, and that's what it is. And we're just going out there to help restore that function and allow people to heal and work the way that they were designed, that God designed us to do. So
Yeah, I think that that's very empowering, getting out to your community. I can't say enough about that, because I think that the more that we tell the chiropractic story, I think that's something I've heard time and time again. Just tell the story, tell the story, tell the story. But we have to be creative on how we get to interact with people. And we have to be, we have to watch our momentum with ourselves to make sure that we're catching the flow at the right time with the way that people can receive that message. I think that's also vitally important, not only getting into the locations to be able to make an impact, but to make sure that you are, being aware of how you interact with that community as well.
Yeah, and you said earlier something about screenings, and I have no problem with going out and doing a screening. That's was a part of my life. But for me, like I can in an hour get in front of 100 people, where in an hour at a screening, that's a good screening, right? That's not a normal screening. That's a big home show. And so in an hour, I can get in front of 100 people, 50 people, 150 people, 300 people, whatever it is, tell them the story and make an impact in their life right then and there in 1 hour, and I just think that the bigger groups that we can have come together, the better it's going to be, because then there's going to be little shifts and movements within their communities, right? Like if a business goes out and is like, hey, we're going to do this max living chiropractic thing, and we're going to start implementing exercise and detox and mindset stuff and nutrition and the chiropractic thing, like we're going to really this is going to be a part of our business. If that was the case, like sick days go down, families get better. We just had another mass shooting in Florida. That stops, right? That stops. There's millions of people on antipsychotic medications, and we can go down that road for sure. But when you have a cleared nervous system and your body's functioning the way that God designed it to do, that stuff doesn't happen.
You're a happy human.
You're a happy
bottom
human.
line.
Even on your worst days, like you're still a happy human.
Yeah, and the back to the tenets of the philosophy of chiropractic is the body needs nothing extra in it. It simply needs no interference. And I think that if we think about that on a massive scale, your little ones don't need anything extra in them either. They just simply need no interference. And it's even from the day of birth to the day of graduating high school. And it really helps with the functionality It gives people self-esteem when their nervous system is clear. It gives people that advantage of concentration. I mean, so many things are easier when your body's function the way it's supposed to. And maybe we will get to that point, Kalie, where people see that they want to have chiropractic services in their life rather than running to the old school medical model, which I'll call it, and go after the RX tablet and look for something as an outside in source.
Yeah, and that comes through empowering more people to make that choice and knowing what it is. It comes from people knowing that they don't have to run to the medicine cabinet, because some people have no idea. Some people just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I loved it when Billy DeMoss would say, "I don't think your body has a lack of aspirin in it, or you don't have a deficiency on ibuprofen. Your body doesn't have a deficiency on ibuprofen, so why are you taking it?"
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's I mean, you can go down the medication road with all that stuff, but it's just not necessary.
I love it. Jose down in Mexico says, "Yes, happy human."
Yay.
And Denise Egum, I believe I said her name properly. Our family is blessed by Judge Chiropractic.
Love you, Denise.
So she is watching our live feed right now too.
Awesome.
And I know that we were going to last question for you is, I know we're going a little bit over our time, but we're going to ask if there's someone out there that's in chiropractic school that might be struggling a little bit. Are there any perils of, or some wisdom that you might just share with them to where they can maybe have the momentum to finish strong?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, I think, is maybe the most important thing that you can start doing in your life, and that is develop your morning routine. And so what I mean by that is, like, your morning routine is so, so, so critical for you. So getting in the green books, getting in the Bible, journaling, writing your affirmations, telling yourself who you are, telling yourself who you are in the town, and getting excited to go out and serve people. That is one of the best things that you can do for yourself if you become consistent about it. And that starts in school. Like, start today, start tomorrow, start whenever, like, as soon as possible. Yeah, somebody just said find your tribe. Like I said before, you've got to find your people. Find the people that are which to find your tribe, you really got to find out what your values are. Where do your values line up in those things, and figure out what that is. And then you even have uh, adjustments. Like, you've got to figure out and get really stinking good at adjusting the spine. It is one of the most irritating things to go to a chiropractor that can't move the bone. And you've got to be, it's an ownership and it's a responsibility in your hands, if you're going to call yourself a chiropractor, to be able to fix the subluxation. Find the subluxation, fix it, let the body go back to work, but you've got to be able to move the bone.
And that goes back to the old school terminology of chiropractic. And the old school terminology chiropractic is done by hand.
Yeah.
And that's back from the green books. And that's back from chiropractic philosophy like 101, done by hand. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very simple, but sometimes yet challenging.
Yeah.
And I know last year we saw each other at Logan.
Yes.
Almost a year ago. We saw each other just recently at Cal Jam.
Yeah.
And thank you for the hug.
Thank
and
you.
Now we're going to be seeing each other where next?
Berkshire.
At the Berkshire's
Yes,
philosophy
that's
event.
right.
Yes.
Berkshire. So this is my first year. I actually have never heard about it before. Liam Schubel got me involved in this. I'm super grateful to be even considered to be there. However, I know that it's just going to be an amazing thing. And if you haven't, that's my Aunt Debbie. Hey, Aunt Debbie. She loves chiropractic also. So Berkshire is in Boston-ish area. It's in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. But that's where I just feel like that's going to be a pivotal moment for so many people. And, like, I feel like there's this movement in chiropractic to just get back to the history and get back to the roots and get back to what we were created to do. And that's just, let's talk about subluxation and how to make lives better,
Yeah, and just to clarify, it's on the other side of Massachusetts. Boston's by the ocean, and
Yeah.
you have to go inland. I think it's like
Yeah.
4 hours away.
Yeah.
So it's still honestly, it's one of the most beautiful little cities I've been to. Last year, I went to a little city outside of Berkshires called Lenox, Massachusetts. So like, it's so New England.
Yeah.
It's like this little like awesome like Norman Rockwell type painting.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited. I'm really excited for this event.
yeah, and when are you speaking there?
I speak Saturday, 9 to 9:30.
So you're bright and early.
Yeah.
And I was watching Tristan talk to people the other day about speakers were talking to him about Kairo Sushi, and they were talking about like who gets what slots.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, getting a slot is a big win. So it doesn't matter if it's 9 in the morning or 5 at night. As long as you're getting a slot, you have a chance to make impact on people.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Tim McFadden he goes, I'm headed to the Berkshires event as well. My first one, looking forward to it. So we're building this Kairo tribe. But I think what we're doing.
I know Tim from back in the day, and Tim, you can maybe confirm or deny this. But I think I know you from back when I was a student.
Yeah, Tim actually didn't start into the chiropractic program till I think he was like 48. So he was a little bit older when he got into chiropractic. So he's still youthful and spry as a 25-year-old. But
for sure.
I think honestly that what you're saying is getting back to the philosophy, getting back to the roots of what chiropractic is, but we also need to use what we have right now is our ability to share the story, not only at seminars, not only at talks, not only in the clinics, but on this platform. We have to figure out how to uniquely share the story to a larger tribe to where we get more inclusion. And Tim says Palmer 09 and graduate.
Yeah, so it was 2010.
Okay, so you guys were walking BJ land at the same time.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, is there anything I didn't ask you that we should touch on today before we say goodbye to everybody?
I don't know. I don't know. I think we hit some pretty good nuggets. I know I go into some more detail on some things in the podcast. So everybody go subscribe to Chiro Hustle podcast and share it and listen to all that good stuff. No, seriously, like support Jim because him and his crew are just doing some great things in chiropractic. So get more people over to this page, get more people involved in this. Share it. You know how we make an impact is sharing each other's stuff on our pages and just get more views.
Well, that's the big idea, and all else follows. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for being on the live stream today. This episode was brought to us by Pure Chiro Notes. Sorry I didn't introduce you guys at the beginning. I was so excited to talk to Dr. Kalie. But Pure Chiro Notes is an EHR system that is built for membership style practices. So if you guys do have a membership style practice and you want to have a good EHR that helps you out, reach out to Dwayne Hoskins and Matt Musgrave with Pure Chiro Notes. And I just want to thank you, Dr. Kalie, for making some time in between taking care of your practice members today. And look forward to seeing you at the Berkshires event here in, I think it's like 60 days away, 2 months.
April 7th.
April 7th. April 7th, Massachusetts. We'll see you there.
Be there.
All right. See you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.